Game number 1, Germany against the Czech Republic. Still looking at the Nexus Contest here, and we are in the group stage, still in the first round for both of the teams. So again, in case that you are watching the first game right now of the Nations Cup, of the Nexus Contest, ex-pros are not allowed to play in the teams, so it's basically up-and-coming players. You might have seen a lot of them already in the Grandmaster leaderboard or in other teams play Open Division, for example, maybe. But ex-pros are allowed to coach them. So some of the teams, like France, for example, have Mena as a coach. Denmark is being coached by Zelia. And now we're having Germany going up against the Czech Republic. The level of play is Grandmaster to Master, depending a lot on the teams. But let's see how this goes. I mean, this is a thing that we've been seeing like all day, and like every day we've seen the same thing yesterday too. Whenever the game starts, boom, Maiev is getting banned out. Nobody really wants to deal with her on that level of play, and this is one of the things that is just super consistent. Battlefield of Eternity, of course, is a two-lane map, maybe focusing a bit more into the middle, so Tyrande becomes highly important, Li Ming becomes very important, Hanzo is an extremely strong pick here too. And we have, in terms of bans, Genji taken away. But yeah, those 3-4 heroes is something we have to watch out for. They gain a little bit more momentum on this map, and especially Tyrande has already enough of that as is. So, the Germans. Let's see how they're going to play this one out here. A little bit hesitant on the second ban. We have actually seen even Lunara being played with her level 4 talent, trying to get a bit of value. I'm not quite sure if that's really going to be the big one. Diablo banned out. I personally expect an early pick on Tyrande again if she doesn't get banned. Tyrande or Hanzo are currently my two heroes to watch out for. Li Ming should be picked at some point, just because if there is a stalemate in the middle, you get easy shots off the entire time. And can poke, and your opponent will either have to take the damage with the hero. Not Tracer getting banned out here. Okay, fair enough. Seen a little bit of Tracer already in the Nexus Contest. But yeah, Tyrande, Hanzo, what's it going to be? Hanzo alone is just fantastic against the Immortal, but Tyrande, of course, offers a lot of value in the long run with any kind of combo that you can set up, and they actually go for her. Tyrande chosen. Would expect Hanzo to be taken on the other side now. And maybe even a commitment to the tank if you wanted to. Could pick Garrosh, for example. Could go into Garrosh together with Hanzo. Have a strong frontliner, and in addition to that, some immortal pressure. But there's Johanna. And Reyna. Okay, Jimmy can work with Exterminator. First of all, he can work no matter what you do. He's a fantastic hero to play. But at the same time, you can make the adjustment to go into Exterminator on Battlefield of Eternity to have a bit of immortal pressure if you feel that the rest of your heroes don't really pack the punch that you're looking for. That leaves Hanzo open though, and it also leaves Garrosh open, so a taunt into Tyrande stun can be very powerful, and there we have it. Garrosh taken, and the immediate burst damage after. So not so much worried about the Immortal anymore, more so trying to get the insta-kills in with the Tyrande Jaina composition. And let's face it, Jaina can also get some serious damage on the Immortal with a good Blizzard. Hunter's Mark applied before that. So a pretty solid setup for Germany actually heading into this. The Czech team, as far as I know, is consisting of 5 Grandmaster players. So it should be a pretty solid game and also a bit of a challenge to the Germans. Mal'Ganis banned out. We have Hanzo still on the board. This is actually a little bit mind-blowing to me. On Battlefield. And I would still expect a ban there. I mean, yeah, Malfurion taken away instead. So like more slows and roots, so yeah. But let's see what exactly the Czech team is going to try and pull through here. I think there's a ton still available. You can go into Hanzo, you can decide to go into your offlaner. You have a Johanna already in the mix. Li Ming, again, we're coming back to Li Ming. If they want to play a mage and they don't want to go into Hanzo for the additional auto attack and the scatter shot, then they can definitely play Li Ming here. Deckard, Kane, and Blaze, so they're going to leave it open for the last pick. Blaze also, again, fantastic. A good jet propulsion here can change the entire outcome. You have a Johanna to pull them in, get the jet propulsion, Deckard Cain following it up with a quick seal. Very unlikely that we're going to see a double mage on the side of Germany. So, would not expect Li Ming to be played by them. Hammer instead, okay. Getting that solid auto attack damage in. Garrosh can actually protect that quite nicely. Hammer not too bad. And Ethereal, layered protection here with the Sanctification coming in too. Nicely done. That can be a tough one. And the last pick, How is the Czech team going to play this one out? I'm actually really interested in that choice now, because they have a ton of options. Li Ming, Hanzo. How much are you worried about Hammer? Can you play around him somehow? And it's an Alarak instead, trying to play around Hammer with the telekinesis, suck him in, providing those hits. Interesting adjustment here on the last pick for them. So guys, Battlefield of Eternity, game number 1, Germany going up against the Czech Republic here at the Nexus Contest. Game number 1 in the series. To the left side in blue, the Germans. Known for their tank play. Germans always known for their tanks. Playing here with Laranas on Garrosh, Phil on Jaina, Clayton on Tyrande, second tank, Sergeant Hammer, played by Blank, and we have Scope HCC 2025 on Tyrael to round things up. The Czech team, on the other hand, with Dragon on Johanna, Sir Crater on Blaze, Kenny on Deckard Kane, Deathra on Reyna, and Reset playing Alarak in this game. And a lot of the plays, I think, are going to hinge on Alarak, because if he can make the plays around Sergeant Hammer in particular, that would be absolutely fantastic for them here. I'm talking about it already, a bit of invade here by Laranas, as he's going to be trying to flip someone into this. Alright, the scout has already happened. Starting to move in. Tyrande shows for a second, and so does Laranas. I think this play is not quite working out for them. Laranas is still there, but they've seen him. And I was just blinding it. Like, that play is not working out. Like, I don't know, but like, it's time for the retreat. Like, this didn't work. So they're still trying to get some damage in, and they do, but the entire idea behind this little attack has already backfired here. So we're going to see how that's going to work out for them. The Czech team definitely having a decent start down here. Not falling in any kind of trap, so they're playing well with this. And it's going to be an interesting one. I don't really know who's really favored here, but as I said before, we have 5 Grandmasters on the side of the Czech team. And they have a couple of really cool heroes play around with this. Already the attempt to go for Johanna. And the stun a little bit too late from Tyrande, so Deathra walks out of it. But with the hammer, they are starting to push that back quite heavily, of course. Top side, a little bit of a different story here, with the scope going up against Sir Crater. And Blaze should, in the long run, really do well here. But of course, the shield mechanic for Tyrael is helping him to have that sustain on the lane too. Tyrael can be great later on. If you have the Sanctification ready, 4 hammer, keep her in place. There's a lot of great plays that you can make for sure. Laranas gets a little bit wrecked here, throws out Johanna, and that was a great play, but he's still in trouble, and I'm not quite sure if they can keep him alive. They can. It was a close call. Blank on hammer in the backline there, definitely doing a lot of work and forcing the Czech team to retreat. Laranas already looking for another engage. But they're double checking the entire time. I'm actually really liking this. Like, both of the teams are playing very heavily around checking bushes, checking vision, making sure that they're not falling big into a trap. Blank, again, trying to wait for that extra damage. That was a bit of an early Iron Skin that we just saw from Dragon. I was expecting a stun to come out. Still playing around Alarak. There's a lot of respect on both sides. You can really tell. I mean, they're trying for the plays here, and Blank is still hiding, so they don't know where he is, and they have to be asking themselves, what's Hammer up to? Just double checking everything. Reset is walking down, is looking if someone is trying to take the camp. Dragon is there too, and his Johanna is moving up. And here's the throw and the attack on Johanna. Immediately the telekinesis also being used against Blank, so he gets pushed in by Sergeant Hammer. Level 4 on both sides. Not a single kill yet. And we have the camp committed to. But this is a little bit of a weird... I mean, it's not a really weird decision, but it's like one of those decisions you have to make. Do you go for the Khaldor camp at the bottom, or do you go for a Shaman camp? Shaman camp is heavily pushing the top lane once it's being captured for the Czech Republic. But now the Khaldor camp is keeping them down there a little bit. They're still making the rotation to their own camp, but with the Immortals spawning, it means that the Czech Republic can now make a quick move onto the Immortal and get the head start here. And that's a little bit concerning. Laranas is trying to buy some time, has to use the Indomitable, get away from this one. Reset nearly taking him down as Lightning Surge comes in again. Fight or Flight from Reyna on level 4. It's going to prove pretty impressive for later on. Siege Tactics for Hammer. Strong talent to take. But yep, it comes at a price, the camp. As I said, now we're having the Immortal or the halftime show taken, but good damage against Deckard Kane. Big damage coming in. Deathra also low. And all of a sudden, Germany fighting back here. Halftime show not completely reached, but let's face it, one more hit, and that thing is going to be on 50% HP. The deep push already happening down to the bottom. And the Czech Republic is going to do really well here. Up to the top, we have Scope dealing with the camp. Turrets are helping out there too. But now it's a defensive position for Germany as they're trying to keep that Immortal in play. it's gonna get a little bit rough. Experience is exactly the same. Level 6 on both sides. Still the poke happening. Dragon gets thrown back. Laurana still trying to hold that position here. Here comes Alarak with a combo. Laranas with the Undominable tries to move away from this one. Hammer is also in trouble. Good push as the Krater tries to go for the jet propulsion. The immediate move by Sergeant Hammer here. Another throw, and now Johanna might actually fall. It's first blood for Germany as they are going in. Czech players are trying to get the Immortal, but they can't really make that happen. Oh, the jet repulsion missing. Scope out of mana, out of hit points, but surviving for now. Still Arana's trying to claim a little bit more space here. Good combo coming in from Reset on his Alarak though. But it's a race. Germany very likely to lose it. Still about to drop most of the shields here. So it could have been a lot worse for them. And that would have made them pretty angry, and we don't want any sauerkrauts in this game. Down to the bottom of the map. We're still going to see the Immortal starting to push through the bottom, so Tyrell is going to make the move topside once more. But the Czech Republic has a bit of a lead here. The kill against them was definitely annoying and robbed them of a few of the advantages that they had when it came to the Immortal race, but at the same time now they have the push power to go through with this, even an earlier level 7 talent. But a great move from Laranas, and another kill. He finds the connect with Alarak, and that's the insta-kill right there. Down goes Alarak, and that is a much easier defense against the Immortal right now. They're definitely going to be able to save the fort. They lose the well. That in itself is a bit annoying, but that was a great push by them. Very well done. Up to the top. We're still having the fight with Tyrael. And talking Tyrael, let's look at a couple of the talents here. Going into the Divine Vigor here on level 4. And at the same time, the Purge Evil. So really heavy focus on Smite actually with this. We've seen a couple of adjustments in the past on that in particular, but they went straight in for that particular build here now. And looking at it, we're now also having, after the initial fight or flight for Reyna, we're seeing him with the Unstable Compound. So pretty standard on his part. Celestial Attunement now too. Hammer, of course, on level 7 going into the Hover Siege mode, which is going to be very crucial in those fights later on. And talking about fights, the siege up down to the bottom of the map. That's going to be a pretty important one. Trying to break through the wall, maybe put a bit of damage onto the fort itself. It's going to be pretty fantastic. So for the time being, it's actually not too bad. Germany with the efficiency that you would expect from them. 2 kills against 0, but losing out on the Immortal. Not quite sure what to make of that. We'll find out later. The Czech team, though, playing this quite nicely. Like, again, I really like the way that they're playing this. They haven't really found the kills yet, but I'm already worried about Reset getting a good combo off at any point in time and just absolutely wrecking the German front line here with it. If he gets the side, yeah, exactly that. If they had a follow-up for that, that might have been the kill. If Deckard is a little bit quicker and just trusts Reset, they might get the kill right there. But now, here comes the cavalry. Riding in and trying to get the stun. Jimmy! And that could be the end of Reyna, but the fight or flight keeps him alive for a bit longer. Clayton dodging the combo from Alarak. Well done. And you got to rip the Germans for this one. There is this German efficiency that I heard so much from. No kill, no fun. Talking about kills, like Deathra is really wrecking Laranas here, like getting the auto attacks in against Garrosh and pushing him back. He's on a 50% HP. Reset claiming the space here and pushing them back. But it's a nice back and forth game. I'm really liking it so far. I mean, it's pretty much like on eye level, right? Yes, the kills are in the hands of Germany, but if you look at the way that the Czechs are playing, they're doing extremely well here. Clayton again low. They can't get the kill, but the jet propulsion against Tyrael is doing quite some work. Hammer in a really good spot with the Hover Siege mode gets auto attack after auto attack in, and all of a sudden the red team has to be careful here. They're getting another combo against Hammer, but the siege tactics helping her out. Here comes again Laranas trying to look for the flip. They're gonna get Reyna. Yeah, the owl to the face, and Tyrande gets the kill. 3 kills against 0, level 10 abilities now on the board for them too, and the immediate move over to the Immortal as Germany takes the 3rd kill in the game and is starting to take a lead on the Immortal too. Napalm on Hammer, Taunt for Garrosh. There is a rumor that Taunt is the only talent that Germans can take on level 10 because it looks like an angry orc, and Germans are always angry, so it's the only real fitting talent for them. Not quite sure if that's true, but it's consistent. Halftime show, won easily, and then the full Immortal taken. The shield barely scratched, if at all. Czech team has to be careful with this one. But now they have their heroic abilities too. And now you have an Alarak combo into a stun, bunker to save you a little bit from Hammer. This is rough. And they're already setting up the little trap here. And they're trying to get that win. They're trying to get that kill. They're trying to get that confirmed. Oh, where's the bunker? The taunt! And the kill. Laranas comes in with a perfect ult. They get the kill, and now they're trying to push this through even harder. Fantastic play here from Germany as the game starts zoning with a Starfall now. And all of a sudden, the Czech players are in trouble. They're losing their side laner, and that was a lot of sustain that they had top side. Big wave coming into the bottom that nobody saw, because that's experience lost here for the red team, and the fort is lost too. Pretty impressive play, to be honest, by Germany here. I didn't really expect them to make this much headway. As we said before, the Czech team consists of 5 Grandmasters, and I really thought that with their lineup, they would especially put Hammer into way more trouble than they did so far. But the plays with the Lornado and the Telekinesis from Deckard and Alarak didn't do enough yet. And it's a play for keep. Look at Dragon. He's so low. Iron Skin is moving out. Here comes the taunt again. The flip. And Reset is about to get wrecked. The Immortal helping out too. Krader is too late on Blaze. And now Hammer is just firing away here. Getting the shots in one after another. And this is looking bad for the Czech Republic. They're about to lose the keep at the top lane. Or are they? They're trying to save it. And Tyrael just sacrifices himself. And it's still not enough. Where is your efficiency now, Germany? Apparently they can be efficient, but they can't really do math, because that was a bit of an optimistic move here by Tyrael. You could literally see that he said, guys, I'm just gonna die and kill it with my explosion. And they said like, yeah, this is fine. Jawohl! And then he tries, kills himself. Doesn't do enough damage. And that's the combo that I've been waiting for the entire fight. Finally, Alarak says, like, screw you, and takes them down. So that's the second kill for the Czech Republic, and that was a good one. They take down Tyrael, they take down Hammer, and the keep at the top hasn't fallen yet. Yeah, that's a little bit of an unfortunate move. I mean, if Hammer, for example, sacrificed herself and tried to get a little bit more napalm in, I think they might have been able to take it. But as it stands, that keep is still on the board, and that's all that counts right now. Yeah, you can take it later. But still, that was a little bit weird. Down here, Laranas. Right, they're creating some space with the Lornado. Blaze is rotating in again. Let's take a quick look at the numbers here. Oh, look at that. 40,000 on Sergeant Hammer. 21,000 on Alarak. He's the one who really has to make the plays against Hammer. But so far, the Hammer plays have really worked out for them. There's the combo, though. And now Laranas, he might be too far out. Indomitable being used. And he walks away from it. Nah, the Blessed Shield. They committing everything. They have no patience anymore for Garrosh. But the counter kill could be true now. Here comes the Sanctification on the ground. Reset on the run. Reset gets healed. Dragon is still alive. But not for much longer. The counter kill against Johanna. Lornado saving Alarak. A kill for a kill. Yeah, and the next Immortal is going to be hit soon. Taking a quick look at the talents here. Also now, the Tactical Mine Deployment. So trying to just make sure that Hammer is going to stay a little bit safer with us. Haven't really seen too much of that talent, but of course, if you think about it, can make sense if you're just trying to rush away from it. 16 talents now in play, and especially the Ancient Blessing is a fantastic talent for Deckard Cain. Now keep in mind, if this ever comes to a game that ends up with level 20, for example, then we can also see him with his 20 potion talent, and that would be a little bit of a disaster for Germany, because the setups would be strong. 14 stacks, by the way, of Tyrande. Very efficient stun play. And the zoning. Again, Laranas is already there. Flips in one. Follow-up is there. Another stun connects. And the taunt just as the jet propulsion is about to be used. But they cannot get the kill. They can't get the kill yet. And Tyrael is still zoning, moving in, moving out. They're going again for the Immortal, and this one is important. You need to win this if you are the Czech team. Great telekinesis into the Immortal stun. Fantastic setup. Another one. And Laranas gets absolutely destroyed. 2 stuns and pushes into Immortal stuns. Really well done. An insane CC chain that he just couldn't break, even with his attempt to go for the Indomitable, and all of a sudden it's a 5 versus 4, and the Czech Republic is going for it, and they're looking strong here. They're trying to make the play again with Deathra, harassed by Tyrael in the back, but now they're trying to drop that Immortal as quickly as they can before Garrosh is back to business. But with Sarge and Hammer moving in again, it looks rough for a moment. Reset, wow, the reflexes on Alarak, barely getting away from this one. The Owl comes through, but doesn't get the kill. Tyrael still trying to come in from the side and maybe drop Alarak here. But Hammer is just such a fantastic pick here for the Germans. Playing with the rolling Panzers right there. And it's working out very nicely. The problem for the Czech Republic is they have a problem getting close to the tank. They really do. And Alarak is the one that they were probably hoping to make the plays with, but it's not working out right now. Stuns against the Germans here from the Immortal itself, but they still claim it. Bit of a fight. Nice combo. Triple stun from Tyrande behind it, but now all of a sudden she's in trouble. Gets sucked in. Nearly drops the Sanctifications on the ground. Fantastic play from Tyrael here, but the bunker is also in. Alarak falls. And the Czech Republic is in so much trouble. They're losing 1, they're losing 2, and just as the Immortal is moving in. What a fantastic save on Tyrande. That was incredibly well done here. And now Detra is dead as well. Oh my god, this is tough, to be honest. This is really tough for the red team. Top side, the camp is going to take this down, maybe even, but with the catapults now amassing on the top lane, even that is questionable. But even if it does, I don't think they care, because with 16 talents, Germany is now moving through the bot lane, trying to drop the keep, and they're just doing so well. Having killed 3 heroes just as the Immortal comes down makes the defense nearly impossible, and now we have Giant Killer 2. Hammer is getting insane value, and every time we're seeing these massive commitments, you have either the Celestial Attunement ruin it, or Tyrael coming in with a Sanctification. It was a great Sanctification by him in the last one, saving Tyrande and then leading up to the kill on Alarak. A taunt again. Alarak is down. It just wasn't the pick for them this game. The core is already falling, and the Germans are trying to make sure that it does. This is going to be the 1-0 lead for them. They're moving in again. Blessed Shield comes through. Johanna nearly dead, barely saved by the jet propulsion on Blaze, but this is game. Germany takes the lead in the series, takes the 1-0 over the Czech Republic. Game number 2, everybody. Shire is the map. The Germans in the lead. Had a pretty good game there. Draft just a little bit too strong. The hammer play, the saves through Tyrael was a little bit too much for the Czech Republic to handle there. They just couldn't get close enough to hammer. They tried several times with Alarak, but it didn't quite work for them. So now we're heading into Shire. And this is the map pick of the Germans. We've seen the Czech Republic take first pick, first ban over their opponents. So we're going to see that. And let's find out if they're going to make some adjustments. Now, of course, the map is very, very different, which also means that some of those picks are maybe not going to be working as well here as they did on Battlefield. I'm looking especially at that top lane, going for a Tyrael solo lane, very likely not going to be the choice here. Blaze, I would say, gets a bit more value. Urel, of course, still fantastic on Shire when it comes to top lane control. Leoric can be played here too. But we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. Would still expect Maiev to be banned out, very likely a Genji ban, to keep that top lane a bit safer. But we are seeing a priority, or could see a priority, on globals, of course, as well, since Shire really caters towards that playstyle. With that being said, Tyrande banned out, so she's made it now from a consistent first pick position, or early pick position, into the bans even. Just too many consistent stunts coming out of her, and blow-up potential against individual heroes. The German team with Maiev being banned again, like we've already seen it before. And Hammer also banned out. The respect ban immediately there. It's like saying like, okay, we dealt with that in the last game. Not really going to work out this man. We all know the Germans, they're good with the tanks. So trying to remove this one in particular. First pick on the other hand, the Czech Republic. I mean, I heard that Germans don't really do all that well with Winter, so maybe going a little bit into Arthur's Jaina as a combo might be the solution here. Like, I don't know. Then again, when we're talking about Germany, heat and cold don't do so well with them. Especially the German transport system, the German Bahn, the Deutsche Bahn, seems to have a lot of trouble when it gets hot in summer. I mean, who could anticipate that? So maybe a Kel'Thas is the solution here. all dumb jokes aside, Diablo's the first pick is a great choice here for them. Again, Genji is still on the board, so he can be played. We could see also some commitment into the Haka later on. But I like that Diablo is being picked up here early, considering that we are having Garrosh already banned out. And Nubarak and Reyna now taken by the Germans, so already looking into a bit of blow-up. Makes me immediately think about Jaina, when we're honest. I mean, right now, you think about a Nubarak, you want to see burst damage coming in afterwards. It's also, again, Durell that could be played here at the top. So there's a couple of things that could really work out for them. Hanzo and Dehaka, I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. Hanzo is going to be great for them, also for a bit of camp clear. You have Dehaka, who can take top lane and then burrow in. So I'm really liking the way that the draft starts out for the Czech team. But let's see how the Germans are playing this. First of all, we're going to look at another ban. And when you're banning right now, you're thinking about supports maybe. Can take a support out. Can pick one for yourself. Tyrande is already taken away, so that limits the options a little bit of what you really want to go into. But it's Jaina. They are banning Jaina. I could have seen them take Jaina. But they take her away. Okay, fair enough. No burst damage here. Li Ming would work well too for Germany, to be honest. Take it away from the opponent's team so that if you use Cocoon, it can't be disintegrated right away. And that Tracer ban, we've seen that now for the second time. So definitely a bit worried about like someone one-tricking on Tracer here on the other side. But for me, really, I want to see if we're seeing Li Ming right now, just to make sure that she's not ending up in the hands of the Czech team so that they can't disintegrate the Cocoon whenever it's being played here. Malfurion already great for the follow-up with the Nubarak. And they go for Arthur's top lane. Don't mind that at the least, but they allow now the Czech Republic, if they want to go into a Li Ming. And again, they don't have to. There's other tools where you can burn a Cocoon down, but Li Ming gets extra value playing against an Warwick. It's that weird dynamic where it's a little bit more annoying to land a lot of your skills because there's beetles on the ground, but then you have a perfect counter against the Cocoon with your disintegrate. So we see her picked a lot against the Nubarak for that reason. But we have Medivh and Kharazim. Okay. The Kharazim pick maybe a little bit on the odd side, but Medivh can be fantastic. Very interesting setup. And Leyline Seal into Apocalypse all of a sudden becomes an option too. Okay, it is Butcher time. Alright, boys. We are in for a bit of a treat here. They go for Butcher, and that game all of a sudden changed a lot. Game number 2, Germany versus the Czech Republic. It's time for Dragonshire. Game number 2 with some interesting picks. Germany going up against the Czech Republic, and to the left we have Germany. They perceived a significant lack of sausages in game number 1 and wanted to go straight away for the fresh meat. Laranas on the Nubarak, we have Phil on Malfurion, Scope on Arthur's, Blank on the Butcher, and Clayton on Reyna. To the right side of the map we have, on the other hand, the Czech Republic with Reset on Medivh. He is gonna have a lot to do here. Dragon on Diablo, Sacreda on Dehaka, Deathra on Hanzo, and Kenny on Kharazim. Butcher always taking a bit of a risk here, but let's see if he's going to get the value. Blank played a fantastic Tyrael in the last game. Now we're going to see him on the Butcher, and he is going to try and show the Czech Republic how the sausage is being made. But then again, you're playing against a Palm, potentially. You're playing against a Medivh. There are a lot of tools on the other team that can really screw with that quite heavily. I mean, we talk about the drag. We have like Diablo. There's a lot of displacement available for them. And the Czech Republic played really well in the last game. They lost it in the end, but they were just, I think, caught a bit off guard by that choice on Hammer. Now we're having Scope at the top, actually trying to zone them out a little bit. As I'm thinking about it, I don't really think that Blank played Tyrael in the last game. It was Scope that played it, my bad. Switching that up a little bit, Blank played on Sergeant Hammer. Yeah. So he's still trying to murder people here, just with a bit of a different choice. My apologies. So Scope with the play on Tyrael and now playing Arthur's topside. Nice gank attempt, by the way, against Dehaka. You have to give a shout out to Dehaka here in particular. Being safe around that and not falling into that trap was actually really important. If they lose the top laner, they are from the get-go a step behind the Germans. So very well done by them. We're seeing everybody else rotating around now too, trying to just take a couple of camps. Blank, of course, is going to play this very, very passive initially, simply because he wants to get the stacks together. We're gonna regularly check those out. But for now, we're actually having the shrines activated on the map. And of course, as you can get a lot of momentum with the Butcher in the late game, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to offer a lot to you in the early game. If you can get some quick ganks and attacks on the targets, fantastic for you. But we're already seeing that the Czech Republic is trying to play very aggressively around the shrines. Aggressive play also at the top. Spray game a little bit on point here. But we're having Krader struggling into Arthur's, making it a little bit difficult for him. Laranas against Dragon here in the middle of the map. Both of them pretty much just sharing the lane. Ruthless Onslaught talent taken on level 4. Fight or Flight as well. I mean, I love that we're having Butcher in the game, don't get me wrong, but against Medivh, I'm still a bit skeptical. The vision comes in too. Reset is trying to get his own stacks together on Medivh, and if that comes through, that would be great. Yeah, the camp stolen away because Laranas is apparently a little bit drunk. Did not hit home here. Here comes, on the other hand, the drag, and down goes Anubarak, and he might not be the only one. Clayton is in trouble as well. An attempt to get the opponent out of the penetrating round, but that didn't work at all. Not very efficient from the Germans, if you ask me. They lose the camp, they lose 2 heroes, and the Czech Republic is off to a great start in game number 1. The Haka burrowing down might have cost them a little bit of experience in the minion wave, but they made more than up for it with those kills. So, yeah, not quite the start that Germany was hoping for. Didn't lose the Butcher. That's, I think, a little bit of a saving grace here for them, but definitely a little bit worrisome for them now. Down at the bottom of the map, experience is taken over. They're half a level behind. They've lost the wall. They've lost half the HP on the fort itself. The fountain, on the other hand, is still in play, and that's important. And we have a bit of a wraparound as the Butcher is going to try and get that charge in. Here's Arthur's, but there comes the fresh meat attempt. They're trying to go for Krader. Medivh himself is also in trouble, and well, Medivh is down, and that means goodbye stacks. That's more meat for the Butcher. And that is the stacks already gone. Krader just left him alone. He said, like, dude, I'm out of here. I'm the Haka. Like, I don't care about you. You can transform into a bird. You're suspicious. I'm going to leave you here. You deal with this. And there was no cooldown left anymore for the portal. And all of a sudden, a kill for the Butcher. And the stack's gone. And that is definitely a little bit of a dent in the momentum that Medivh is hoping to achieve in this game now. So the Czech team, with the loss there. Still ahead in kills, of course. We have now Under King also chosen. I mean, just looking at the talents here a little bit. Having the Insatiable Blade taken, so the movement speed increase allows him to stay a little bit closer, especially when he wants to heal up. The Unrelenting Pursuit with a cooldown reduction. I mean, once you get him going, this guy is going to wreck you. If we are getting into a late game scenario with this is going to be rough. Butcher wants more stacks. It's already on the way top. And they keep the Haka there. And there comes the Butcher. Trying to go for the stun, they get it. The portal of no use, more stacks for the Butcher, and another kill against the Czech Republic. Yeah, this is getting a little bit worrisome. Fantastic early game for them. The red team did really well. I like that. I liked especially the invade on the Siege Giant camp, but now this is getting a bit problematic. Okay, here comes Medivh. Let's take a quick look at those stacks. 109 stacks already on the meat. 1 stack only for Medivh, and that's a big problem for the reasons pointed out earlier. We're having at the top a massive push happening also into the fort, so more experience lost for the Haka. But of course the counter aggression at the bot side with a 4-man setup and the Siege Giant was a good choice from the Czech team still. Trying to drop that fort and get those catapults spawning on every 3rd lane. Didn't quite work out for it. Fortitude on 7 for Arthur's, a little bit more sustainability. But as long as the Butcher plays safe here, he's going to get his stacks eventually, and this is when the real big problem could come into play. But of course 10 abilities are going to change a lot. Momentum is everything with the Butcher. Play a safe early game, try and build that momentum, and go for it. They're also going for another portal there. Not getting anything out of that. But there's always the threat, of course, for Medivh. But Reset definitely has taken a little bit of a damper here, considering how this all went. Again, the engage onto Diablo this time. The root is connecting. The stun didn't quite. They're putting the pressure on, and here's the level 10. Lamb to the slaughter. That's what they're looking at here. Tranquility for Malfurion, the Cocoon of course, and very little to do against that. Are we seeing the APOC build? No. No leyline into APOC. Instead, we have the Lightning Breath. And still the leyline seal. Fight at the bot lane here. Everybody's ready. And we're going to see a Dragonite. Germany is on the Dragonite point. Laranas might fall. They're sacrificing him, but they get the DK. Even using the Cocoon and Tranquility to keep Anubarak alive. A little bit of a weird Lightning Breath there from Diablo. But the DK has been taken up to the top lane. Dehaka just wasn't going for it. And now we're having Germany starting to take the structures here. Cindergrosa is still an option for Arthas, by the way. He's the only one who hasn't made a choice yet. He's on the Dragonite. Hasn't claimed anything yet, and that's another tower down. The rest of the team pushing down to the bottom of the map. The Butcher, of course, still getting more stacks through those minion waves. Moving middle, moving bottom. Arthur's making the choice now, going for the army. No crazy Cindergrosa plays from him, but they are starting to gain some momentum here. If they can take down the fort, that would be great, but of course Dehaka is still reigning supreme at the top lane. That's experience for him. Moves into the middle as well, soaking 2 lanes as we speak. Portal again. Barely getting out of this one. It was a scary moment for Reset on his Medivh in particular. Here comes Dehaka for the 5-man. But now we're having the leyline seal being put. 4 are in. Cocoon is on the ground. Dragonite baited. And Arthas. Oh, the 7-sided. Diablo pushed him out of the 7-sided. And they go for Dehaka. If they get the kills here, that would be great. But no, ult has already been used by Arthas. He doesn't get the kills. And Laranas now falls too. Both of the frontliners are gone, and they might even get Clayton. They completely push him into a wall, zone him out, and that's a triple kill. It's actually amazing to me how the Czech team was able to get 3 kills, considering how bad that engagement went initially. First of all, Dehaka was in trouble. That was the first thing that happens. And then they are also... Oh, they're missing the 7-sided, and now they put Blank into a corner. That stack's gone on his part. That was a misplay here from him for sure. Staying way too long in the middle. Not really showing the respect, as 2 of their heroes were already dead. Looking at the stacking progress, he's sitting at 123 right now. 22 stacks now on the side of Medivh. Yeah, looked good for Germany. Up to the point where they really just like started screwing up the bot fight a little bit. And the initial engagement wasn't great here, for sure. Camp is taken. No, it's not. They're still fighting over it. The 7-sided is in, and Laranas dies again. Malfurion uses his ult, and the Czech team going for Clayton. Kenny with a big punch to the face, or to the helmet. Down goes Reyna. And that is level 13 in the hands of the red team. Great play by them now, using the momentum that they just acquired to push this even farther, invading the camp, forcing another fight on their territory, their turf. Well done here by them. Really liking the way that they're adjusting to this now. Because let's face it, before level 10 and shortly after, it was a bit tricky for them. But then getting the kill against the Butcher in particular was really important to make sure that he's starting to lose some of his stacks and doesn't get those too easily. Another camp taken. We're seeing Blank and Phil trying to get one to the left side too. You have to keep in mind this is actually the map choice of Germany. After the Czech Republic lost the first game, they made the decision to go for first pick. And so map choice was in the hands of Germany. They went straight away for Dragonshire. And here's the 13 versus 13 Talons. More kills would be great. Still playing around Butcher, trying to get the stacks completed, but of course Medivh is also starting to get a bit closer to his own quest completion, and that will boost his damage output too. Talking about damage output, Hanzo right now heading it up with 22,000. Dehaka is still there. They get the stun in, but the immediate burrow. Here comes the drag. The rest of the team is on the way as they're trying to get the kills in, but yep, we have the portal too. Laranas is there again. Leyline hitting 1, hitting 2, hitting 3. But no follow-up. There's no follow-up on it. The fight is on, though. Hanzo is in the middle. He wants the Dragonite. He's likely going to get it. 7-sided strike against Arthas. DK is taken by the Czech Republic, but they're fighting up here. If they're losing several heroes, that stacks for the Beast. Kenny is low, and everybody else is not looking too happy either. They're trying to escape through the portal, and they might be able to pull that off. But, yeah, all of them escape. But holy cow, that was close. That was really close. If they would have lost 2-3 heroes, that might have been a disaster in the long run. But now they not only didn't lose a hero at the top, they took the Dragon Knight in the meantime. Very efficient play from the Czech Republic here. The Germans should be proud of that. Down goes the fort. Well played around that. Even more poke coming in. At 1.5 level lead. You might be able to go hammer, but you can't just simply go butcher here. Reyna survives. Fight or flight. Make it work. Another big punt here by the DK. Dehaka boring in 2, but yeah, they're looking at 16 right now, and the Germans are in trouble. Quest completed for Medivh. The hits just keep on coming. Another portal, another attempt. Lockdown right there, controlling the portal with the roots. Malfurion laying down the lawn here as the portals come in and trying to make sure that nobody is using those portals anytime soon. But the 16 talents, they are the big problem that they're facing right now. They're still thinking about the attack and they're going for him. Here comes the cleanse, the stun, they're going for him immediately, but the shield is there from Medivh. The ley line is already on the ground now too, and they're moving away again as well. 7-sided portals being used. Scope trying to see if he can maybe land another Howling Blast here, waiting for the cooldown. The rest of the team already starting to mount up, but they're retreating and going for the Siege Giant camp instead. They don't have 16, they don't want to force it too hard, this particular fight right now, but they are way behind. Cleansing Touch on Kharazim is such a great tool now. Camp gets invaded again, Germany on the retreat, and another quick attempt to make the play through the portal. Even trying to go for the Banshee, but not taking that down yet. Big wave at the top side. That's a good one for Blank. That's a lot of meat right there. That is a ton of meat. Don't overstay your welcome. But yeah, that's definitely a huge chunk. And let's take a look at it. 154 on the stacks right now for him. So he's like 40-50 shy. Medivh is already scouting it out. And yeah, he did well moving away from that because everybody else was already rotating in to take him down. And now that Germany is about to take level 16, they might be able to maybe come back into this before the next objective spawns. But this is definitely still very, very tricky for them. With now Medivh doing a lot of damage also with the completion of his base quest. This comes all down to one of the bigger late game fights. If Blank can get the momentum with the damage. And I mean, talking about the damage, just take a quick look at it. He's currently sitting at 11,000. He has the least damage in the team. Less than Malfurion. Obviously, that's going to change quickly if he ever gets into a great position here. But that's exactly what the Czech Republic is going to try and prevent. And they've been playing really well around all of these things now. So again, attack at the top side. Starting to go for that. We have Epicenter now taken for the Nubarak. It's going to be a big one. The penetrating round 16 talent is also fantastic for Reyna, of course, since he now has a little bit more sustainability by himself. Blank still trying to get meat stacks one after another. But they're afraid. They're a little bit hesitant here, and that's time that the Czech team uses to take the camp down at the bottom of the map. And they're doing that quite well. Let's look at take another quick... Oh, Dehaka again. They're going to get him. They're stacking the stuns a little bit too hard. Are they going to get him? I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. There's the arrow, hits 3, hits 4, Cocoon is on the ground. They're trying to go for Medivh this time, and that's a great route. But Diablos, it is a massive fight, 7-sided against Arthas. Lightning Breath, Arthas with the army. He goes down, and the Czech Republic, oh my god, this is going to be a slaughter. They are taking the kill against Arthas, they're taking Reyna, they go in against Malfurion, get wrecked, son. He gets completely destroyed. And the problem is the same in nearly every single battle. Germany goes for Dehaka. He, by the way, destroyed by the massive wave that is pushing through the bot lane. Germany goes for Dehaka every single time. They go a Howling Blast, they go a Nubarak engage, and they go straight up for the charge with the Butcher every single time. And what happens? Dehaka burrows, and Nubarak dies, and all the cooldowns are wasted. And Dehaka only has to burrow. Huge problem here. Butcher not doing anything for the team right now. They never got the stacks, they never got the momentum. The Czechs are playing this fantastic right now. They go for the core, and I mean, this is a foregone conclusion already. This is going to be game 3. Germany loses Shire to the Czech Republic here at the Nexus Contest. GG and well played. Infernal Shrines, game number 3. Germany going up against the Czech Republic, and well, they were a little bit too confident on map number 2, trying to get a bit more sausage in there with the Butcher and going straight for the fresh meat. But as it turns out, you can't just simply go for a pick like that against the Czech Republic. They are going to rip you a new one, which is exactly what they did. So game 3 it is, Infernal Shrines. Let's jump right in and see what we're going to have in terms of draft. I want to know if we are going to see a bit more of a tryhard draft from the Germans now. We have Maiev already banned. And now let's see. I mean, one of the things that's really interesting is going to be, will Medivh be banned out? That's what we oftentimes see. Whenever a team picks Medivh and wins with Medivh, the opponent's team immediately says like, you know what? Screw that guy. And they immediately ban him out. So, could see that. But then again, I'm not quite sure how much of that last draft was really just Medivh's fault and how much was just simply Butcher into Medivh. Tyrande banned out again. Don't blame them for that at all. She's been playing a massive role, not only for the German team in game number 1, but also for basically all the other teams that we've seen so far. Moment of truth. Medivh or not Medivh? It's Infernal Shrines. Can play Leyline into Apocalypse. You can play Lot here. There's a bunch of other heroes that you can ban out too. We've seen tanks prioritized quite a bit as well. And Diablo gets value here too. Alex Straza. Okay, they don't care about Medivh too much. Alex instead. Last map we saw Sergeant Hammer ban. It's another map where you can play Hammer. And what's it gonna be? Genji was banned a few times as well. It's another one that you have to be slightly concerned about. And there it is! No German tanks in this game. Hammer banned out. And I think it's the right choice. They played really well around it in game number 1. Blank did a great job on it. And they had a huge amount of protection for Hammer. So this map can be very annoying when you're fighting on a shrine and Hammer sits on the outside and you have a tough time getting to... There's the Diablo pick though. Larana's on Diablo. And yeah, this is a great map for it. Can go into an Apocalypse setup as well if they want to. If they find the pick. I mean, Zeratul, Medivh would work out for layups for that. First picks though, what are we going to see? Is this going to be the Garrosh reaction right away on the side of their opponent? Again, we had, I think, Johanna in one of the earlier games for them, right? Or was it a different match that I'm remembering right now? But yeah, that could work too. Has the AoE. Dehaka and Garrosh. Alright, Dehaka again. And Garrosh. Dehaka needs to be a bit careful. He got caught quite a bit in the last game. Like, one of the main reasons why he was still ended up being successful was that the Germans were playing it a little bit stupid, to be honest. Like, they didn't really play that well when they were stacking too many cooldowns of Dehaka and all he had to do to dodge all of them was just simply burrow. Was not efficient. Not at all. Junkrat for the poke from the outside and the displacement. And a Malfurion as the follow-up on Diablo. Well, it's not a bad start in the draft at all. Twilight Dream, Tranquility would both do wonders here. And Malfurion, of course, with the roots can also then control the choke points that lead into the shrines. That's another one that's going to be big for them. When it comes to bans, though, I mean, there are still a couple of mages out there you have to be careful about, right? I mean, we're talking Jaina, we're talking Gul'dan. Liming is always a bit iffy on the map, but can still be played for sure. Melganis. Okay, so again, like, it's always the discussion. Side lane, main tank, what is Melganis? Can still play him at both. But they're a bit worried about that on the off lane. And there's the Medivh ban. Alright, finally get that out. You can still go leyline into a good taunt from Garrosh. So... I don't think they had any other huge priorities, so they were just like, you know what, get rid of that. We still need a support for the Czech Republic. I mean, there's plenty out there, right? You could go white main. Deckard is still up, great zoning too. And they need the damage, they don't have anything yet. Reyna is also still on the board. Tychus, okay, and Zeratul. Oh boy, okay, we're talking now. Tychus, first of all, for Odin, and also to burn down Diablo. Then Zeratul, Dehaka. A bit scared, to be honest, because I still think that might become a bit of a problem. If you go Arthas here, Arthas could be great here on the off lane. You could play around Blaze again. Arthas and Blaze both good in the setup. And then get the damage in again. Maybe even Gul'dan for Horrify. There's the Blaze. And Kel'Thas. Kel'Thas Blaze. Last pick on Kel'Thas. Trying to spread the bombs here. Gravity Labs also offering additional CC. They have CC on pretty much every single hero in here. Junkrat has displacement. Not quite the same, but I mean he has the trap. So it still counts. And the only thing that misses is a support for the Czech Republic. I like what Germany has into this. Not that the Czechs can't win this. But especially their Zeratul player has to be on point. And it's a Karazim again. Bit skeptical about that, to be honest. Like the draft as a whole now. But alright, let's head into it. Game number 3, the deciding map between Germany and the Czech Republic here at the Nexus Contest is Infernal Shrines. Let's jump into it. Game on, as we are heading into the final map between Germany and the Czech Republic. To the left, The Germans with Clayton on Kalthas, Blank on Junkrat, Loranas on Diablo, Phil on Malfurion, and Scope on Blaze. Tychus, on the other hand, is going to try and take Diablo down for sure, but still. When we're looking towards the Czech team, we have Dragon on Garrosh, Kenny on Karazim again, Deathra on Tychus, Krader on Dehaka, and Reset on Zeratul. Alright, let's get the party going. Level 1, by the way. Bouncy, bouncy for Junkrat. Okay. If he wants to poke from the outside, that can give you a lot of value when we're talking about the Shrine fights, for sure. Now again, I'm looking at that lineup and I'm really feeling that especially the draft went very well for the German team here. There is a couple of cool tools that the Czech team has, but it hinges a lot on individual play and them really hitting that skill ceiling hard. Outside of that, it is going to be a bit tough. I'm especially worried about their lack of a cleanse for the early stages. I mean, once you have Cleansing Touch, right, it's a bit of a different story. But especially looking towards the early game, we have so much CC for the German team here with jet propulsions, with roots, Diablo engages, and then also gravity laps from Kalthas, that it's pretty brutal. And not having a cleanse to deal with that can be a massive problem. So the individual play is going to be very important for the Czech team, especially Zeratul. I mean, we have to watch out for Reset and see how much he can do with this, because I'm honestly a bit worried for them. This time there was no troll pick. Scope, on the other hand, is in a bit of trouble up to the top. He's trying to get away here, but has still some assistance here. Kalthas moves in, misses the gravity laps completely on the other hand, but they're still going for the Haka. Has to pop the S, and body blocks are there, but it's not enough damage. He's in tower range already and moves away from it. Not quite sure if it would have changed anything with Clayton. He actually gets pinged. I'm pretty sure that's one of the teammates saying, like, dude, hit your gravity laps there and we kill him. Not even sure that would have been true, but it would have definitely been easier. But they really liked it. They really like the Haka. And again, the burrow play is ready. This time there's no escape though. He goes down, Junkrat still has the bot lane under control, and they are back in the middle in time to make sure that they are not losing any experience there either. So the German team starting again with the initial kill, keeping Blaze also safe up to the top. Still a little bit surprised by the Karazim pick. Really feels like a preference pick for Kenny, and I mean, he did a good job in the last game, but I also really think it's going to be tough. Oh yeah, it is going to be tough. Down to the bottom of the map, Karazim falls. I really think a big idea for them is to just simply play around the displacement on Garrosh and get a 7-sided through. And I'm not sure how likely that is. Garrosh flip into a 7-sided could be the play here. Garrosh isolation into a Void Prison to stop the rest of the team from following up. That might be also strong. But I feel these are really two of the big things that they have to somehow make happen, or it's going to be extremely tough. Scope is continuously under pressure. Reset is harassing him as much as he can, but there's not a single kill that worked in for that. Deathra able to get away from the gank attempt that we see from Germany here. But they're still going to be able to take the camp, and talking camps is not the only one. We're having the Shaman camp to the top right taken by the Czech Republic. But let's find out who's going to take that lead here. Tigers is not going to make a move. Not until the rest of the team is there. And of course the Haka has again the advantage at the top lane. It's actually a nice setup for the Czech team. I'm really liking this, because Blaze has to deal with this camp eventually. There's no counter camp. They didn't take their own Shaman camp. The Haka can literally burrow down whenever he wants to, and Blaze will have to sit on that lane for a lot longer, or just abandon it. And he actually abandons it. He moves middle. That doesn't mean that he moves into the Shrine fight. He could still try and rotate between the two lanes, but the Haka has made that choice already and is now trying to commit to it. Zeratul shows on lane to defend against the Khazra camp, but the rest is still poking. And of course, there is a lot of poke available with Kalthas and with Junkrat. Blaze arrives now too, goes for the oil spill. They're going straight for Garrosh, great flip into the root. Nice setup here, and they can't get the kill. But they're trying to isolate Zeratul or Garrosh, one of the two, and they get massive damage onto both of them. But the fountain is still up, so they can still tap. It's a lead for Germany on the stacks now, but the Czech Republic is moving in again. Top lane, nearly defended, but the Wraith is pushing in. They lose some experience. Here comes the level 7 for both of them right now. Crossfire taken for Blaze as they go in once more, and they're dropping Blaze. Blaze is down, no counter kill for Germany, but they are getting the Punisher. They get the Punisher, and if the stun procs on Garrosh, they might be able to make a play, but they're actually moving top. They're trying to go for the Haka again. They try to go for the Haka, and so Krader should fall here. and he goes down. That's again another death of the Haka. Punisher gets baited over, and this is Germany starting to push with the first objective. Yes, they lost place, but they still eliminated the solo laner on the opponent's team too. Level 7, Sticky Wicket. The slow, heavy slow, and for a long time too, so trying to get a bit more control out of this. Stack talents in particular, of course, now starting to work in, but the first keep, the first fort, it's gone. Taking it right there. Germany with a massive value on the first objective. Good leading experience for them now as well. Damage output through the last fight. Zeratul, of course, as predicted, getting a lot of the damage in. His 16, as usual, is going to be great. But I'm still heavily worried for level 10s and what happens if they lose control over the game, if Germany just walks away with a massive lead. And so far, they've done exactly that. Taking the fort down this early is already a problem. And they have 3 kills against 1 too. I mean, once you have Odin, you can start to use that to secure yourself quite a few minions on the shrine and maybe force your opponent to hit back. There are still the isolation plays with the 7-sided, but again, missing a cleanse is a bit of an issue. And I feel it also puts Kharazim in a really weird spot. You want to go 7-sided because you're looking for the Garrosh isolation into a 7-sided insta-kill. But you also don't have a cleanse, and you might need the palm. You're not going to get that. Oh, great move by Junkrat. The save on the Haka, but he had to get his essence through since Junkrat pushes him back into the fight. But Germany really hates that solo laner, don't they? Every game they make the rotations topside and they put so much pressure on him. Sir Crater, he is having a little bit of PTSD there already. Every single time he thinks he's safe, there's a collapse onto him. Pyroblast now chosen on Kel'Thas. Riptire, Pyroblast, Malfurion going straight in onto the Twilight Dream. And they're waiting for level 10. And there we have it. 7-sided. They're going for the kills. Not playing it safe, going for the kills. And didn't I just talk about him? Again, they're pushing him out, even out of the root range here. Germany is just not timing that properly, but it's still a kill. It's a 4 versus 1 commitment. You can't get away from that, not with the amount of CC that the German team has with their lineup. That is just not happening. Yes, they're stacking some of their abilities maybe weirdly and don't synergize properly in such a case, but if you're 4 versus 1 and you have that much CC, there's always something going to be ready that prevents the Haka from moving away from it. Crater is not having fun here. He's just like, why me? Can you just please attack someone else just for a change, just to give me a little bit of breathing room here? Not happening. Alright. Scope in the middle. Still dealing with Zeratul, has taken the camp bot side, and the catapult is of course pushing that back a bit. But still, another shrine activated at the top of the map. And they've taken the fountain. No fountain for the Czech Republic, and they even have to move back here because they're so low before they're coming back in. Zeratul is also at the bot lane, mentioning it again because you want to have the Haka there. You don't want Zeratul here, you want the Haka there. And Zeratul moves back and then starts rotating topside probably. But Scope can get another wave in before he makes the rotation if he wants to, at least deal with that. They're starting to take the top already. The trap for the slow. Yeah. Can push him out, can push him in. Not using it just yet, waiting for the rest. The Haka comes in through, but immediately we're seeing Broccoli in place. Malfurion laying down the lawn here. Not giving anything to the dinosaur. Zeratul waiting for the rotation of Blaze. They're starting to poke from the outside. Small lead for the Czech Republic now. But Germany feels probably pretty good going into this. They're still waiting for the ult on Junkrat, but here they go again. 1 CC stacked on top of another. Here comes the Pyroblast, trying to get that in, and it doesn't kill him. Void Prison is there to prevent the potential follow-up, but now they have to rotate him back, and again, there's no fountain. There is no fountain this time. This is the big advantage that Germany has in the battle. They still have their well up, and they can use it. Already Odin has been used. 13 against 11 stacks way too early, and Deathra doesn't have it any longer. Massive cooldowns blown on both sides, but Germany has taken the position again on the shrine itself, and Garrosh is in trouble here. Garrosh is low, and he needs to be incredibly careful. Bunker will have to be used. Use it immediately. Oh, the Twilight Dream and the kill against Zeratul. Here comes again the move by Garrosh, trying to get away here, but they're going straight for the Haka. They're hating the dinosaur, but Dragon is able to save him for now. Can't save the shrine though. 5 kills against 1. Germany is going to get another one here. They're going to get another Punisher. This one is going to be a frozen Punisher, so they might be able to follow up with even more CC on all of it. It's tough. It's really, really tough for the Czech team to make big plays here, especially since they're lacking a cleanse. They don't have anything. They're running into these CCs from Germany over and over and over again. Once that cleansing touch is there, that might make the difference. But for the time being, when we're looking at structural damage, it's Germany that absolutely leads that. We have second fort falling. That's more catapults, more pressure, more safety, more map control for the German team. Talents are the same. But Germany is going to try and break through the wall. Unlikely that they're going to be able to do much damage to the keep itself, but as long as he drag the wall down, that would be great for them too. If they can get a kill, of course, we're talking about a different game, and they are heavily going on to reset, and that Pyroblast is going to wreck him. Can he get the blink timer right? Void Prison attempt on the Pyroblast, but he goes down, and he might not be the only one. The taunt is there. Garrosh is about to fall. Nice bunker to evade the 7-sided. Blaze survives. Garrosh doesn't. They're poking on the keep. They might get it, but they have to move away here. The Odin on Tigers is pushing them out. Are they going to stick around and try and poke it? Another minion wave is there. Zeratul isn't ready. Oh, if they can get the kill, the lockdown, and the jet propulsion. They're going straight for the Riptire, but he survives. Tigers is still in play. They keep not down. They're trying to put the damage on. It's not gonna be enough. They're poking it slowly and steadily, and it's really low. And the lower it gets, the more easy the chances for them to move into the lane later and rip it apart. But it's still there. The Czechs hold on to it. The Czechs hold on to it, at least for now. Zeratul is back. It's a tough game. It's really a tough game. Let's take a quick look at the damage. Ooh, barely saved here. Blaze gets away. 23,000 damage. Good damage output here, especially when we're looking towards the German team on the side of Junkrat. But also, Tigers, 23,000. Zeratul, once he has 16, he's going to skyrocket here, but he's already sitting at 18k. And in terms of talents and quests, a lot of it completed already. Now keep in mind, when it comes to a bursty damage, the bigger they are against Diablo is still a fantastic tool here. One of the reasons why Tigers is looking at this much damage right now. So that's definitely helping him out. Outside of the Pyroblast, we have also Sun King's Fury taken on 7 straight into the Pyromaniac. So a very heavy focus now on the living bombs, trying to play around those. Chattering Teeth, it's all about the slow, all about the control here, trying to use that. But Germany is taking camps all over the map. They have the 16 talents right now, and they're taking camps. Oh, and they go for Zeratul. He barely gets away. Clayton is a bit too late. Still drops the Pyroblast, but this time he's going to survive. Wow, that was a lot closer than I thought. That was a lot closer than I thought it would be. But yeah, the camps are taken, the talents are ready. And throwing out an ult like this early doesn't really mean too much. Next Shrines should be ready again as the Shrine fight starts in. But still, the push in the middle, they have the poke now. They take the catapult, or they take most of it down. If they can drop the fountain, that would be great, because this is where the next Shrine is going to spawn, right there in the middle. And with the 16 talent, they have a lot of pressure now. Already rotating Blaze topside. The Haka is playing it very, very passive now, very safe. And Germany can actually invade this camp. Looks like they are waiting for someone to make a move in. It's not quite happening here. 16 is nearly ready. They have to make a choice. Do they want to take the camp? If so, then they have to do it now. Because once 16 is ready for the Czech Republic, they're going to try and take that fight. Yeah, they're going to steal it away. Steal it away, put the pressure onto the top lane, and they should easily be able to get the keep now too. Not only with the camp, they could literally just move in. Yeah, you don't want to take that battle. It's actually a bit weird. I really felt they could have pushed in, just drop a couple of grenades, drop another flame strike, and you are Gucci. But they're taking the lead on the Shrine instead. The Haka has to stay top or they lose the keep. So he has to stay top. But he has a 16 and the Void Slash is already doing work against Clayton. Very early commitment to Odin. Way earlier than you would usually see it. Normally you see it like in the middle. Uh-oh, but that's a good throw. And the taunt is great. The 7-sided is there as well. They're trying to get the counter pressure in. Good bunker on the ground. The Void Prison in the back isn't too shabby either, but they can't get the kill. And here comes the Twilight Dream against the Haka. They're going for him. He pops the essence. He goes for the burrow charge here. Well, he goes for the burrow and tries to make a play around that, but Diablo is again in. Diablo attacked immediately, though, by Tychus, and that's the end of him. He goes down, but so does Zeratul, and Diablo is going to be back in a bit. He had the stacks on the souls. The keep at the top lane is gone. The Haka moved into early. He couldn't de-push the camp. They're trying to go for it. But we have 38 against 37 against 18. And that is Germany with another Punisher. Finally, the cleansing touch is there. Finally, the Void Slash is there. But it might be a little bit too late. 2 forts down, 1 keep gone, and another fort about to fall here in the middle. 8 kills against 2. And things are looking very good in this third game for Germany as they are going through the middle, trying to take this keep. Maybe. Fort for sure. The keep might fall as well. We're talking 15 minutes. And Punisher is scaling. And they have the chance to go through one of the small lanes here. Side lanes. Open it up. And maybe have a follow-up. They're already trying to break through. And I mean, look at Garrosh. He is getting wrecked by this. It's an arcane Punisher. That doesn't make things any easier. But they're burning it down very, very quickly. Good job by the Czech Republic. Burn it down quickly. Take a bit of damage on the key, but it's not too much yet. And Germany just retreats and says like, alright, we're going to steal their camps. We're going to steal everything. We're going to steal the camps, we're going to take the Khaldor camp, we're going to move down to the bottom, we're going to take our own side afterwards. But every lane is now pushing against the Czech Republic. Makes it easier for them to play it a bit safe when they're trying to take the experience to bring them a bit closer. But of course, there's also a bit of a worry for them, because we have Germany about to hit level 19. And once that's the case, you can try and go for the 20 for the next Shrine phase. Reset needs to be also cautious. I mean, they're basically just in a staring contest here. Double checking if someone is maybe moving in here. Here he comes. Alright. Good job. Good job by Reset. Not face checking. Not really believing in any of this, just moving away from it. But yeah, you can see the experience, and the worry is there. When do you fight? That's something that the Czech Republic will have to decide now. The Haka, by the way. Nope! You're not getting away from this one, dude. Massive push, massive damage. They're going for him again. He tried to move out, but Diablo just murdering him into the wall. And this is just horrible. Now they can't even fight if they wanted to. Like as I said, they need to decide when they want to fight, right? And you can take the fight before level 20 talents are there. Or you can try and delay it. But now with the Haka gone, you can't even force the fight if you wanted to. And all of a sudden your mid lane is exposed again. And Germany is already looking to poke. It's a 5 versus 4 and they're thinking about it. They can get the oil spill. They can get the flame strike and a couple of grenades. And they have level 20 now as well. So this should be an easy keep for them. They get the damage in, they're getting the poke in, they're committing with a wave, they're escorting the catapult. That's a keep. That's a keep right there, unless you misplay. There's another flame strike, a little bit of catapult damage, 10 seconds until the Haka is there. Get the damage in, slowly and steadily, just whittle it in. Yeah, keep under attack, and this is very likely going to be it. Yep, there we go. Can move away. The Haka is back in a second. Even trying to see if they can maybe get a closer lock onto Garrosh, which is not the case. But now they have the Storm talents and they are looking absolutely fantastic. Germany with 2 lanes, fully controlled. They haven't lost the fort yet. And the Czech Republic is under so much pressure. Next Shrine is going to be topside. And another time we have the camp stolen away here. But, inexperience? Didn't think it was possible, but it really looks like we might see that level 20 talent just in time for the Czech Republic. And that means they have another fight in them. They have another battle in them. Already down at the bottom. We're seeing another wave about to be taken. You need to be a bit careful. You can see Kratos is a bit afraid here because they have no vision. They don't know where Germany is positioned right now. But they're going to get that experience that they need. They're going to get level 20. And Germany is taking the camp. Have Blaze pushing out the mid lane again. So they're trying to apply a little bit of pressure onto the core itself. Just by getting the catapults escorted towards the middle. Now the Haka, when he rotates in, if he doesn't simply burrow, could start and take one more wave down. But the Shrine is active at the top. And we're immediately having position taken by Germany. It's 20 versus 20 though. Transgression on 20 now. Big red button. Great ult. Fantastic. Contagion, of course, also fantastic here for them. But let's see how this is going to play out. Because this is the big one. If you lose here, if the Czech Republic loses this one, it's basically over. If they win it, though, they might be able to start the comeback. Very early Odin again. A little bit too early for my taste, if I'm honest. Good throw on Diablo. The taunt, the kill. They get the kill. Great play by the Czech Republic. They get the kill, throwing the Odin forward even. Mid lane is pushing hard. Germany, how do they play this? Do they give it up? Or do they still try to poke here? See what they can do with it. They have the flame strike in. Living bombs are hitting, and they are hitting hard. But the kill attempt by Reset. The Gravity Lapse is not connecting, and that's important. They don't have a lot of time. There comes the attempt. Malfurion with a Twilight Dream, and it actually gets interrupted. But that might be the end of Reset. He blinks away. Oh my... What? Kenny with the heal and 1 hit point on Zeratul. The catapults on the core. 3 of them, so he had to go back anyways. And we have the Shrine position taken again by Germany. They're starting to tie this in terms of minions stacked. Still the poke happening. Diablo not back for another 10. Zeratul taking them down. 4% already off the core. Oh my god, the double kill. The Haka is down. That's the end of Tychus. And we've seen Garrosh fall too. They go for Kenny. They try to push him back in. He's on the run here. Karazim is on the run. Is getting the full force hit to the face. They're not going for the core. They're going for the Punisher. They want to play the safe. Diablo is back. And what an ending here. The kill against Diablo originally giving the Czech Republic more hope. And then Germany forcing the kills in, forcing Zeratul back, the catapults on the core, and once the 4 versus 4 fight starts, they're getting all the poke in from their heroes and are able to take it here. Unbelievable. 12 kills against 3, and Germany is on the move. Zeratul trying to delay them somehow. He's gonna fall, he's gonna die, he's dead already. Kenny is running, Lorana's even chasing him a little bit, even Score is moving in. And that is going to be Karazim in some trouble as well. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, they're only delaying the inevitable at this point. They might have the heroes back on the core. But both of the keeps are down. The catapults are moving in. And this has to be it. I don't think the defense is possible here, especially with Zeratul gone. With Zeratul, they might have actually been able to delay a little bit. But let's face it, that game is over one way or another. That Punisher alone does too much damage. They're going in. This is going to be game. Germany taking down the Czech Republic with a 2-1 victory. 14 kills against 3 here on Infernal Shrines. GG, and well played.